Our session facilitator for this session is Mrs. Darshini Pereira, Board Director, Pan Asia Banking Corporation PLC. Let's put our hands together as we welcome her up on stage, ladies and gentlemen. And as she joins us, let me also reveal to you the top 5 winning companies in the Cluster Awards for the Best Management Practices Company Awards 2026. So here are the top 5 companies, and I'd like to invite a representative each to please join us on stage. The top 5 companies are Horana Plantations PLC, Omega Line Limited, CBL Foods International Private Limited, Haley's Fabric PLC, and George Stewart Health Private Limited. Let me now invite the representatives from each of these top 5 winning companies to join us on stage as we get ready to hear and learn from their presentation. Let's put our hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen. These are the top 5. Once again, Horana Plantations PLC, Omega Line Limited, CBL Foods International Private Limited, Haley's Fabric PLC, and George Stewart Health Private Limited. In just a few seconds from now, we will have the opportunity to hear their story, to be inspired as well, and we welcome them to share their best practices during 2025 and recognize their leadership, their policies, their strategies that have truly helped to enhance their performance. So with that being said, I now hand it over to our session facilitator to take this discussion forward. Our session facilitator, once again, is Board Director at Pan Asia Banking Corporation PLC. Let's put our hands together for Mrs. Darshini Pereira.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, CPM, for inviting and organizing this type of event. Let us, without taking much of a time, I think you all must be tired or maybe enjoy during this stay here, learn a lot. Let us listen to you, and the audience is waiting to listen to you, right? Let us go through your presentation and start quickly. So, all the very best. Good luck. Good luck.
A very good evening, everyone. My name is Shani Vahangama, and I'm representing Horana Plantations. And I'm quite excited to take you through our success stories. Just to give a bit of organizational background, Horana Plantations is responsible for managing 14 estates across 6,500 hectares. Our main cash crops are tea and rubber, and we are actually the first company in Sri Lanka to be EUDR compliant with our rubber estates. And we also have other diversified crops from cinnamon, coconut, and oil palm. Our purpose statement, a flourishing business to enrich life in an inclusive world, showcases how business success and company growth must go hand in hand with environmental and social stewardship. And we are governed by Regenerate, which is the ESG roadmap for the plantation sector, and that is the blueprint that sets the tone for our actions. And as you can see, we have pillars under environmental, social, and governance, each of which represent risks that we need to mitigate and opportunities that we can capitalize on. And for this presentation, we'll be focusing on the social aspect. With that being said, we will now discuss the challenge faced by the organization. The plantation sector is one that is heavily intertwined with the environment and the social community around us. And in this context, we'll be focusing on the social aspect. And the community around us is our workforce. So the conditions that they experience kind of translates to the opportunities and the risks that the company will have to face. And the community now, as we can see from time of establishment of the regional plantation companies, they are geographically isolated. And due to that, they must navigate quite a distance to get basic medical attention. And menstrual cycles is something that's a taboo in the plantation sector. So it's not discussed as much. Because of these reasons, the conditions in the estates have left some of the people to go outside for employment opportunities. and because of more attractive opportunities that are there. So as a result, the challenges we've been facing is labor stability, and those who are left behind are of varied literacy levels. So that brings us to our best management practice, which is to bridge that geographic isolation, which is wellness within reach, focusing on community health and inclusive development. The essential drivers of our best management practice center around skill development, medical care, disease prevention, and health campaigns. And let us look at some of these drivers in practice. So we have child development centers across all of our estates. We have 36 child development centers, and we have 34 diploma holders who are responsible for overseeing them. And these are very important as they serve as an environment for the cognitive development of the children. And in addition, we have free midday meals which support nutritional development. And we also use fair trade premiums that are transferred directly into the estate welfare accounts, and we support children with their higher education and any other stationary requirements. eBridge is education that empowers futures. So in the plantation community, none of these children had even seen a computer screen, let alone touched a mouse. So what we've done is, in collaboration with Ahmed T, we established the e-learning center to drive the data-driven knowledge within the estate community, and this also will help the future generations to get involved, because as we know, a lot of things are data-driven these few days, and we need to equip the younger generation in the estates to be ready for this. In addition to that, we've exposed our workforce to topics that are generally not common to them. For example, we expose them to topics around biochar production and weather information systems, and this is in collaboration with YMB University. And the idea behind this is to expose them to things that are exciting, new, making the working environment around them different. And the dignity of work. So T-shade development and ecological restoration is a project that we're doing in collaboration with Earth Systems. So this is how we're monetizing shade tree management, which is a common practice in the plantation sector, and we're going to generate carbon credits. But outside of that, I remember once we went out to the field just to check on the progress of this, and we got most of our field officers involved in this project. And one of the field officers came up to us, and he was talking to us about the project, telling us how everyone around him is asking him, what are you doing? Because they're going around geotagging trees and something different. And that's exactly what we want to achieve, to get them excited about what they're doing. In addition to that, we have many medical camps, and within the year, we had about 87 medical camps. So in these medical camps, we have oral cancer screening, eye screening, dental clinics, and we've actually had a few cases of individuals in the community who we've diagnosed with oral cancer, and that's the point of all of this, to bring them opportunities that they wouldn't get to kind of understand the situations around them. So if we haven't exposed them to these opportunities, they wouldn't know what the issues they were dealing with. And we are the first plantation sector company to employ an MBBS qualified doctor. She has transformed our primary medical care unit, and we've been supplied with 150 plus medicines free of charge from the government. And she's also contributed a lot in mental well-being and gender-based violence. She introduced the emergency transport system with with the three-wheel drivers that she's identified. And in addition to that, we have 4 ambulances in the region that's supporting this. We also get involved with the Ministry of Health to help us support in dengue awareness and other diseases. And we've had cleaning programs with the Pradesh Sabha which involve waste for money. Nutrition awareness is also something that's very important in the estate community. As I said, these are topics that they're not exposed to. So it's up to us to bring them to these topics and have these discussions with them. So the impact of all of this. So we've got involved with ADDIC, which is the Alcohol and Drug Information Center, and we've had about 40 alcohol and drug prevention programs. Our idea was not necessarily to stop alcohol consumption, because that's the personal choice, but our goal was to change the behavior around alcohol. So as we took a sample survey, we had about 105 users who stopped harmful behavior, and they reduce alcohol usage. And as a result, the moms can leave their children at home with their fathers or with anybody else with peace of mind, knowing that they can work, that the children are safe. And that's where the child development centers also come into big play, because it's another space for working mothers to leave their children. We've also addressed period poverty by having numerous awareness sessions, and Horana Plantations took awareness to another step forward by establishing our own sanitary napkin production unit, and we distribute these sanitary napkins free of charge. We have distributed already over 3,800 sanitary napkins. And addressing health campaigns, we've managed to improve the weight of children, because a lot of them are underweight. So that's where a lot of the nutrition awareness programs come into play, and the doctor also gets involved, and we work a lot with the Ministry of Health to support us in this. We've been officially certified as a great place to work, but it actually comes with a lot of effort that comes from top management and the employees. And in these images, you can see that we actually introduced an umbrella over the plucking baskets to kind of shield the pluckers from the harsh weather conditions. Then we identified estates that are vulnerable to wasp attacks, and then using recycled plastics as building material and factory ash, we made wasp protective sheds. The results of this, our idea was to balance the issues that we're having with our workforce. So if you look from 2020 to 2023, there's a drastic drop in our workforce. Almost 1,400 individuals are left. But from then onwards, due to our initiatives, we can see that that number is stabilizing. And as a result, we've seen productivity boosts. We've seen yield improvements of 2 to 3%. And the workforce is bit more motivated because they feel treasured and valued, and that is what we need to kind of ensure in the plantation sector. And the reputational gain we developed from these projects are immense, because we've managed to work with individuals to further develop the projects that we had. For example, we started our sanitary napkin production unit with Ahmed T, but due to the trust that we built with them, they helped us establish the e-learning center. Many of you might think that these are, marketing tactics. I must say that they do help us, in terms of marketing, but these are practices that must happen, because I always say, like, our concerns over cost of production are insignificant if there's no production, and we need our workforce for that production. In conclusion, all our efforts are investments for the future, and we have centered our efforts around skill development, medical care, disease prevention, and health campaigns to develop a more inclusive and diverse workforce. With that being said, I would like to leave you with a little quote. A business is to be like a tree, grounded in the sense that humble and respectful with the communities and ecosystems they interact with, and rooted in the sense that we should be governed and held together by policies and practices that nurture nature and cultivate community development. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have the next presenter, Omega Line?
Thank you. We represent Omega Line. I cordially invite my colleagues Rashmi Fernando and Shehan Veerasinghe the presentation. And Rashmi Fernando will do the kickoff.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Every challenge brings a choice, whether to remain same or whether to transform. So today we are going to share how we have transformed. I'm Rashmi Fernando, Manager Production Planning, and along with me I have Jivika Madhurasinghe, Manager Finance, and Shehan Veerasinghe, Executive Production. First of all, let's have a look what is Omega Line Limited.
From our island to the world, we'll make sure our name is heard. Omega, Omega Line, Omega Line. With skilled hands, we built this brand. Omega Line, to win us glory throughout the land.
as you have seen, we are Megaland Limited and operating under apparel manufacturing industry. And we have 2 locations at Sandalankawa and in Vaunia. And we are incorporated in 1999. And I'm proud to say now we have more than 7,200 employees working under Omega Line roof. And from 1999 onwards, we were grown up to be one of the largest apparel exporters from Sri Lanka to Europe. And we have exported more than 88.6 million pieces in 2025. And our good work have been recognized throughout the past years. And during recent 2 years, we were awarded with 34 awards. So I would like to highlight a few of the awards which we have received during recent 2 years. One was the Presidential Export Awards, one of the prestigious awards a company can receive. The Export of the Year overall during 2025. And then we have received from BMPC Awards 4 awards during 2025. And then from Great Place to Sri Lanka, we were awarded several awards. And again, we were recognized as the most outstanding exporter merchandise in 2024. And then I would like to discuss about the challenges which we have faced. So let me take you to the beginning of 2025. So we were a strong company from the surface. We were producing high volumes, but still delivering results. But beneath that success, there was a hidden pressure coming in. Because we were highly focused on mid-range products. But when the global scenarios changed, that strength has become one of the weaknesses. Because when the global inflation increases, cost of every input that we put into our production has been increasing. But still, the product margin was shrinking. So we were producing high volumes with a lot of efforts, but we gained less. So that's where we have identified that we caught into a volume trap. So that was the first scenario we would like to discuss. And then I would like to move to the second scenario, which is more critical than the first one. We were actually most outstanding companies with high capabilities. Skilled labor, advanced technologies, strong infrastructure. But we were using all these things to produce low-cost standard products. So there was a clear gap between what we could do and what we were doing, which is called a value gap. But still, market is growing and market is changing while we are circulating in the same cycle. So there was a growing demand coming for the luxury swimwear and also for family-based collections, which is coming under high-range category. So there we had to decide, are we going to continue the same cycle or do we need to transform? So that was not just a business decision. That was a moment of truth. A moment where we should decide who we are and who we want to become. So there, we chose the transformation. So in order to discuss about that transformation, I would like to call upon my colleague, Jeevika Madhurasinghe, on stage.
Thank you, Rashmi. To fill the said value gap, we have implemented a comprehensive singular management practice called customer-centric strategic diversification. And unlike the traditional strategies that focused only on one single area of growth, this strategy has 4 simultaneous dimensions working under one uniformed control system. And that helped us to touch the product, consumer, production base, and the value chain. And these are the 4 simultaneous dimensions: strategic product diversification, demographic diversification, value chain diversification, and the capacity diversification. We'll move to strategic product diversification. Right. Now, in catering to a group level requirement for a new product category, we launched a premium swimwear category. And to mitigate the risk of moving to a changed, we did it through a phase excellence strategy where we started the production in a mid-range swimwear category called Tessanis brand. And once our technical team got familiarized with that sensitive swimwear fabric, we moved to higher premium Calcedonia brand in full swing. And this helped us to increase our FOB value because we wanted to increase our revenue without merely increasing the sewing hours. And this strategy helped us to do that. And the second is the demographic diversification. We implemented few lines to include boys, girls, and kids ranges to our products so that the customers need family matching and we gave them the family solution. And especially this mini-me collection of mother-child helped us to prevent buyers from delivering or variation their orders from different buyers. And we became the one-stop solution provider for the whole season. And we had 2 sessions for one kids category separately and the adults separately to avoid any bottlenecks. And thirdly is the value chain diversification. Going beyond a basic assembling company, we want to be the internal value chain provider, giving a good quality service for our customers. So from the standard cutting, we moved to ultrasonic laser cutting technology. And from the traditional sewing, we moved to bonding, which gave a finer finish to the product. And also, we started to produce many of the accessories needed for our production. And also, we had this dyeing and washing category so that we gave a vintage finish to the standard knitting products. And the fourth is the capacity diversification. When we received these premier orders, we had standard orders with us. So we wanted to offload these orders to other factories, not getting out or manufacturing, constructing new factories, but giving these orders to the other factories. So in 24, we had 29 factories, sub-factories, and we increased that to 38 sub-factories. And here, Omega Line acted as a mother vessel who gave all the technology, the necessary machinery to the other factories, improving their quality and also increasing the employment opportunities in those rural areas. The result of these actions, this practice, will be further discussed by my colleague, Shehan.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let me walk you through the 3 major impacts from our diversification strategy. The strategy that we shifted from volume to value. We utilized 2024 to pilot the mid-range Tesanis brand. And then 2025, we aggressively pivoted our capacity to the ultra-premium Calcedonia brand. The result, a 65% increase in value per minute, and this contributed 3.7 million euros. This is specialized, optimized product diversification resulted in this value. And then the launching of Minimi. By matching mother and child collections, there was a problem of customers, they hate splitting orders. So we solved their problem and provided a complete family solution. Child collection was 1.37% from our total exports. The defense secured 100% of our seasonal orders and contributed 3.93 million euros, acting as a crucial anchor to keep our lives stable all year round. Then we stopped importing components which are very expensive, and we started making them in-house. Simultaneously, we moved our low volume orders to our regional partners to free up our own capacity. This transformation gave us external workforce boom of 61% to our regional partners. And internally, it contributed 1.54 million euros. A strategy is not as good as its execution. Our volume to value was formally recognized by the highest authority in the sector. We were honored at the 27th Presidential Export Awards with 4 distinct titles. The real proof is with the financial. Our turnover grew by 15% compared to year 2024. Our mother vessel model, by using it, we took the export economy and brought it to the village level. Since our mother planet and our premium customers demanding sustainability, we started and we placed our next steps towards sustainability, and we are sustaining it. Okay, that's us, that's Omega Line. Thank you all.
Thank you to all 3 representatives of Omega Line. Let me now invite CBL Food.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it's a great honor to stand in front of you. And before we start, let me introduce my team. Arosha and Pumali will join with me to take you through with this our presentation. And let me start giving introduction about our organization. Our purpose is actually creating enriching movement of happiness by being caring global entity and with the truly Sri Lankan identity. We live with this purpose, we work with this purpose, and everything we do here will match this purpose. And as a company, we are under the CBL Investment Limited, and which is actually, as you all know, CBL Group. CBL Group has 3 clusters: confectionery cluster, food cluster, and the natural food cluster. Actually, CBL Foods International comes under the confectionery cluster. And when it's come to the strategic business units under the CBL Group, we are the largest strategic business unit under the CBL Group. And
CBL Foods International Private Limited is the market leader and the largest manufacturer of chocolates, cakes, and other confectionery products in Sri Lanka under the brand names of Ritzbury, Ravello, and Tiara. Ritzbury has secured the hearts of ardent chocolate lovers in the island with 80% market share. Ravello is the premium brand of chocolates made with 100% cocoa butter and is the clear leader in the high-end market. Tiara Cakes revolutionized the Sri Lankan cake market by introducing branded long shelf life cakes which guaranteed quality and taste, winning consumer confidence. State-of-the-art manufacturing plants, dedicated workforce, high-quality standards, and streamlined processes enhance the overall standard and the quality of its brands. CBL Foods has always been at the forefront of uplifting the island's youth, sporting talents, arts, culture, and education. CBL Foods looks to the future with the vision of enhancing lives across the globe.
actually, that was a 1-minute introduction about ourselves. And when it's come to CBL Foods operation, actually, we are producing products under the locally as well as globally reputed 5 brands: Munchie, Ravello, Ritzbury, Tiara, and Ravello Specialty. And when it's come to the production capacities and our size of the operation, every second we sell 5 products. Actually, when I complete in the sentence, within that few seconds, I'm pretty sure our sales team has sold 120 products. In the other way, each day we sell 2.5 million units of products our factory. That's how we contributed to 2.5 million smiles per day. When it's come to our factory operation, which is a very complex, large, as well as very dynamic production facility, consists with 11 totally different production lines. We are producing different products which under the each section. As well as we are working with 2,200 employees, and we have to maintain critical hygienic condition inside our factory, as well as so many demand and fluctuations in the market. With all those conditions, we are maintaining world-class level, all the standard meeting under our framework. With that message, I'll invite Arosha to take you through the core part of this presentation.
Thank you, Rajit. So I'll present you the problem that we have faced. So from 2023 onward, we face sustained margin pressure due to global commodity volatility, exchange rate fluctuation, and also increase in price of raw material and packing material. So even though in 2024-25, compared to it previous year, our sales revenue grew by 11%, our GP and OP only increased by 4 to 5%. So the sales revenue percentage doesn't reflect on the GP and OP. So that when we understood that we have a serious issue in our cost structure. In order to solve this, we came up with this GQP framework, where we have 3 key pillars, which are employee skills and capability development, governance-driven performance control, and then we have strengthened quality management system. So these pillars are integrated to each other, where capability brings improvements, governance controls them, while quality strengthens them. Moving on to the pillar 1, which is employee skills and capability development. We have developed our internal capability in problem solving by training 34 executive above staff in Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, 112 in Lean Six Sigma White Belt, and 85 operators in autonomous maintenance. Now you have been wondering that nowadays every companies are trying to adapt Lean Six Sigma to their production facilities. So why it's special in CBL Food? Actually, we are special because our manufacturing plants are already designed with lean concepts. What we can do is we can improve some areas with Six Sigma. So next step, what we did was we formed cross-functional teams with leading our black belts, and we initiated this Project Edge. Under this Project Edge, we tracked the projects, and currently we are having 500 million worth of projects under this Project Edge. So the Project Edge is for our executive and above staff and to get our shop floor employees to this continuous improvement journey. We initiated the Kaizen Edge program, where we generated 2,500 plus Kaizens from this initiative. Moving on to the pillar 2, which is governance-driven performance control. So we have this structured meeting cadence, where we have daily morning meetings, weekly KPI reviews, monthly operations meeting, all linked to our SNOP process. So with this is help us to identify the issues early and correct them as soon as possible. These are our KPI dashboard. So with this, we are now all levels of our executive and above staff are taking data-driven decision making, and also this is help us to from pillar 1 when we do an improvement. So this help us to track back the improvement so that it will not get deviated. So this is also one of the example that we did. So we noticed that our employee cost per kg is going up. So we get together and form this automated packing line. So with that, we reduce 56% of labor from that plant, and we are saving 2.38 million per month with this initiative. So to continue the presentation, I'll invite Pimali.
Thank you, Arosh. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, let me take you through the third pillar, which is strengthened quality management systems. So, the objective of this pillar is to drive productivity and cost improvements without compromising the quality and food safety of our products while ensuring 100% regulatory compliance. So as you can see, quality ownership is embedded at all levels through quality circles, and also we have a very strong shop floor level involvement, and also we focus on mainly prevention, rather than the control. And also this approach helps us to safeguard the product integrity, and also this enables efficient sustainable gains, and also it improves the confidence levels of our customers. The other thing we have done is to build our quality culture development. We have implemented our own quality culture development training module, which is Suradi Maga. This actually comprehensive training modules with many food safety related topics. This Suradi Maga is a comprehensive training modules which provides the exploration of food safety, progressing from fundamental requirements to advanced topics. So the key benefits of this program is to build our employees with the enhanced skill levels, as this is an activity based learning program, and also we have experienced reduced quality losses in quality related activities, and because the main focus is prevention and corrective action. And also this helps our employees to give the ownership and the build strong responsibility in their day-to-day activities, and also we have seen the consistency of our product quality. So these are the main benefits that we have obtained through this Suradi Maga program. And moving on, this slide reflects the strengthened systems and certifications we have in CBL Foods. Starting from the food safety management systems, we have stringent food safety systems like FSSC, BRCGS, and most of our products are certified with SLS standards. We have SLS standards for biscuits, wafer, chocolate, cocoa-based confectionery, and cake products. So that also ensures that we are in compliance with the local regulatory. And as CBL Foods is a very caring and responsible company, our company is certified with ISO 14001, 45001. And as you can see, our journey continues with ongoing system initiatives. So we are in the process of other management systems, like we are complying with bio requirements and our own management systems, like expansion of other certificates. So not only management systems, as I earlier mentioned, we have a very strong quality control circles. We have showcased our outstanding performance in quality control circles. Like we have won 4 gold awards in 2024 and 1 gold award in last year, which at IQCC, which was at in Taiwan last year. And not only food safety and quality, we have a lot of sustainability initiatives and green productivity. So we are the first confectionery company to certify with Sri Lanka Eco Label. And with the increased customer satisfaction and confidence, we have achieved consistency and upheld brand excellence. And the key results of integrating this business impact, we have, as you all can see, we have increased labor utilization and labor productivity, and we have reduced significantly our waste in terms of overweight, raw material waste, and packing material waste. And we have shown our overall quality improvements by reducing complaints and lost time accidents. And from capability to measurable business impacts, we have implemented 2,471 Kaizens, and we have reduced labor in 48% with autonomous maintenance. And also we have shown increased our GMP compliance to 82%. And also we have had savings nearly 479 million with these integrated business management pillars. So our journey continues with sustainability and continuity of the business management system. So with these 5 pillars, 5 steps, we have improved our, restored our profitability in terms of operating profit sustained 9% despite cost volatility against the baseline 2023-24, and the gross profit improved from 23% to 24%. And also we have, as I said earlier, 479 million savings, and also we have protected 2,200 livelihoods. So in summary, we have identified the challenge, and we have implemented our own strategy. We have delivered the results, and the journey is continued, and we are growing day by day. Thank you.
Thank you to all 3 presenters of CBL. Let me now invite Haley's Fab.
Right, good afternoon all. It is a great privilege for me to present in the Haley's Fabric PLC best management practices to this large audience. Right, I am Lakmal Diawatege, Deputy General Manager Sustainability, representing the Haley's Fabric PLC. So regarding the company in the Haley's Fabric PLC, We are the largest web knitted manufacturer in Sri Lanka. Annually, we produce approximately 150 million tons of fabric and all export. And world very reputed brands like as Nike, Victoria's Secret, Decathlon, Intimissimi, likewise we export to them. We have two manufacturing plants in mainly located in the Nathupan Horn in the Halis fabric, and our own subsidiary located in the Pogoda called the South Asia Textile Limited. Right. I comes to presentation. Right. Today our story, our best management practices based on the UN SDGs, UN Sustainable Development Goals and Halis fabric, and our best management practices as well as our performance. So otherwise, integration of SDGs to business strategy, performance, as well as KPIs. So I today focus on our initiatives and our performance, return of investment, and key challenges. So out of, we are working with 15 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, out of 17. So as previous session, Dr. clearly mentioned the challenges and their behavior, so that I start my presentation as other members to the challenges, right? As the individual, as the company, as the country, as the globally, we are facing 4 challenges. So in here, I'm highlighting Halis fabric. We are facing 4 challenges in terms of ESG, environment, social, and governance. So environment, we are facing many challenges, but I like to highlight few things. Stringent environment commitments, increasing the obligations, and expand the compliance requirement. Especially we are exporting to our textile fabric to the global market. In terms of social, growing global and social pressures, as well as increasing the stakeholder expectation, especially for the social need. And also governance, rising the regulatory requirement, especially EU requirement, we call the EU CSDDD, it is enforcing now, so that governance also we have challenging. So what we are doing, we are taking those challenges and converting to opportunities throughout the best management practice. Right. As I said earlier, we are working with our SDGs, our company strategy base, or our agenda based on the UN SDGs. We are working with the 15 SDGs out of 17. And also, this is a global norm. And also, we work with the NDCs. We call the National Determined Contributions. First is the SDGs, then it is converted to the NDCs. That is a global arm and country arm. We are focusing on the ESG and sustainability. The NDCs purely come from the Paris Agreement. So that Halis fabric, we focus on our strategy. Mainly, one is the global arm for the SDGs. So other one is the local arm for the NDCs. So our strategy name is the Green Catalyst. You can just scan the QR code or Google for the Halis Fabric website. This is a very detailed document and a detailed action plan and the roadmap representing our near-term targets as well as based on our long-term aspirations. All we get the base for the UN SDGs and NDCs. It is consistent with the environment, social, and governance. For the environment part and the social part and governance part, we have sub-pillars. All together, 15 sub-pillars we have. But I am today limited for our presentation for the only key areas. Key initiatives we are more focusing for the energy and emissions. We are the first Sri Lankan textile manufacturer to get the science-based target initiatives net zero approval. As well as altogether we have 8 megawatt roof solar top, and we are in the renewable integration process. Altogether, our thermal energy and electrical energy, we are utilizing 73% renewables. It is a very big amount. As well as we are reducing our fossil fuel usage. In terms of material, we are using the recycled material. To make the fabric, we need a thread, we call the yarn. So 17% we are getting the recycled PET bottles for the develop the polyester fabrics in the Sri Lankan project. As well as our all products certified as a eco-label. As well as we are producing the fabrics using the natural dyes. Most of natural dyes and synthetic dyes of mixed blend. And also, since we are using the water from natural resources, we are more focusing on the reclaim, recycle, and recovery of the water. All you can see linked with the UN SDGs. So, and also social part and governance part, we more focus for the social part for gender equity, employee well-being, as well as community engagement. In the governance part also, we are focusing for ethics as well as sustainability reporting, transparent reporting. We start our reporting from the GRI, SASB, TCFD. Now we are focusing for SLFRS S1 and S2. So through this strategy and performance, we convert our KPIs to this way. You can see our absolute water usage, it is in a downward trend. Comparing with the 2 years before, we are saving 16%. As well as our absolute emissions, we call the GHG. You can see it is in the downward trend, 9% downward trend comparing with the 2 years before. And also, regarding the HFO usage, heavy fuel usage, the heavy fuels means it is make some environment pollution. We are now reducing the HFO usage for the 15%. We are still using the very small amount of the HFO, zero coal, but we are trying to get the zero within the next year for the HFO. And also renewable energy. You can see renewable energy, we are in the upward trend, as well as solar and our other thermal energy renewable usage in the right side graph. It is in the 41% upward trend. That means we are in the very good level renewable energy mix. So finally, all our performance should be linked with the company performance and profit. That is, we call the triple bottom line, people, planet, performance, or profit. You can see our cost of production, it is in downward trend. That is ultimately we are targeting to company continuity. So to drive this strategy as well as performance, we have top to bottom approach. Start from the MD CEO level to bottom level. So we have steering committee, dedicated team to drive those KPIs. Right. Finally, I conclude my presentation inspired by Albert Einstein. So we cannot solve today business challenges with yesterday thinking. But sustainability is not a cost, but a smart pathway for long-term profitability. That is our commitment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The final presentation is from the George Stewart. Let me invite now.
Good evening, madam. Good evening, audience. And it's my privilege to present our case in front of the prestigious audience today. Let me take my team support also. So let me introduce my presenters, starting from Dinali. She's from executive covering human resources, as well as the Eleanor. She's from corporate communication. To begin with the presentation, I would like to call upon Dinali.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be taking you through a brief background to our organization. So our history dates back to 1835 with the establishment of George Stewart and Company, founded by Captain James Stewart and his brother George Stewart. And initially, we focused in the coffee trade. And with the coffee blight in 1869, we diversified into tea. And today, the company has come a long way, and we operate over 7 key sectors, namely tea, health, travel, leisure, financial services, FMCG, and industrial solutions. And focusing on George Stewart Health, established in 1986, the company has become the star vertical and the largest market share of the group. And currently, we partner with over 80 international reputed manufacturers, and we promote over 600 SKUs, while we have 35 distributors island-wide, 2,800 pharmacies, 1,500 stocking doctors, and 800 modern trade outlets. Talking about the industry standing, the global pharmaceutical market is close upon to $1.77 trillion, whilst the Sri Lanka retail pharmaceutical market is around $666.50 million, and with a growth rate of 9.58%. In such a context, George Stewart Health has been able to rank within the top 4 pharmaceutical importers in the country. Now, I would like to invite Eleanor to discuss the challenges faced by our organization.
So, the problem we have identified today is, are we to solve today's problems or build tomorrow's resilience? So this is an issue we have when it comes to CSR. As you all know, resources are not infinite, they're finite, and scarcity is a big issue. And so in such a situation, we need to understand that these two pillars go hand in hand. So in cases like the cyclone, for example, there can be a collapse of access to essential medicine, severe clean water and sanitation collapses, and mass displacement. So in that case, is urgency not more important? But at the same time, if we are to only solve today's problems, we are never going to create a proper system. That means building tomorrow's resilience. Where are the resources after that? And in such cases, we are going to have weaker community-level disease surveilling, healthcare workforce capacity gaps. For example, the coronavirus pandemic stretched us above and beyond, and lower healthcare literacy and public trust breakdowns. These problems have existed for centuries, and it has become political at one point. So at George Stewart Health, we have come up with our best management practice, the Dual Horizon Corporate Social Responsibility and Continuous Medical Education, CSR-CME model, also known as the Helix model. This model combines immediate humanitarian responses, responding to crises as and when required, along with Horizon 2 CME, long-term educational and preventive care. So with this model, what we do is we make sure that, yes, people are given the due and necessary support as and when required, but at the same time, we realize that if we trap people in a cycle of only reacting, we never properly solve the situation. So to speak about the impact of our best management practice, I'd like to call on Mr. Chamil.
Yeah, thank you, Eleanor. So we build this concept, dual horizon concept. So let me take you through the next couple of channels, couple of slides. We are giving the evidence how we adapt to the dual horizon. So issue in hand was the risk of chronic kidney patients due to rising agricultural activities affecting water bodies. So we applied this problem into two horizons. The first horizon was the donation towards Sri Lanka Kidney Patients Association to aid current patients. You know, the Sri Lanka Kidney Patients Association is one of the association who is looking after the affected patients in the country. They are into a lot of CSR activities with regard to this aspect. So in second horizon, when the long-term model is coming into the practice, we were the principal sponsors for the Sri Lanka Society of Nephrology annual sessions to create awareness among practicing clinicians. So by coupling these two models together, these efforts ensures immediate patient's care is met, whilst also reducing the reporting number of CKD cases in the future. So in evidence 2, issue was the Sri Lanka breast cancer is the most common cancer among the women, with roughly 5,000 to 5,500 annually. So first horizon, in the CSR model, we donate towards the National Cancer Control Program for the immediate support. As a second horizon, we were the platinum sponsors for the Sri Lankan College of Oncologists. A joint effort as above ensures timely care as needed, while also actively contributing to reduce the number of late diagnosing. So evidence 3, the issue was the widespread muscular strain and the chronic pain often overlooked to treat with the temporary relief remedies. So you can see from here the Sripad, the pilgrimage activity. During that activity, we have started the pain management CSR initiative at the Sripad pilgrimage. And in the CME model, we were the principal sponsors of the Sri Lanka General Practitioners Association. This simultaneous effect helps offer care to faith while making an effort to recognize the impact of the neglected muscular strain. So when it comes to our output, you can see the CSR spending over the last 2 years been increased by 20%, where it's from 7.5 million to 9 million. At the same time, the CME investment has been increased by 40% from 29.6 million to 42.5 million. So when you talk about the outcomes, so it has affected immediate positive brand image to the company and boosted morale and the team pride of the internal employees and also the regulatory goodwill. At the same time, the long-term outcomes, the brand integrity and the goodwill with the medical fraternity and sustained social impact and systemic growth of the company and competitive advantage via faster clinical intervention. So it has been affected to the company's top line as well as the bottom line as well. So talking about the sustaining measures, I would like to call upon Eleanor again.
So sustaining measures, our model is aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals, good health and well-being, quite obvious, and 10, reduced inequalities. This is our long-term focus because reducing inequalities is what makes sure that we are no longer trapping people in the poverty cycle. And partnership for the goals is quite essential for us because sustained partnerships with the medical fraternity is one of our business focuses as well as our model's focus. So this model is not something that is just created one day and just forgotten the other day. We have Stuart Senehasa, our CSR arm, which helps us continue the effort in the first horizon. And it also helps realize our commitment towards happiness for all and a purpose which is beyond the profit. And this model has helped us rise from a ranking of 11 to 4 in the Sri Lanka pharma industry.
So that's all from George Stewart. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all 5 companies. Let me sum up the presentation program. When it comes to Horana Plantation, a compelling people-centric management model. Thank you. It's a good addressing deep-rooted plantation, challenge through wellness which reach. Thank you for the nice presentation. I hope the entire audience must have got immense opportunity to get to know about your company. Then, Omega Line, an excellent example of strategic repositioning from volume-driven to value-driven growth. Superb. And which, in fact, the value increase was really 65% of euro, amounting to euro 3.7 million additional revenue. So good luck, Omega Green. Then CBL Food International Private Limited, a very strong example of translating governance into measurable performance. Yes, especially how you converted 5% margin gap into LKR 479.8 million annualized savings. Good luck. Congratulations. Halis Fabric, a very well structured ESG integrated operating model, especially the alignment with UNSDs and the NDCs, supported by tangible initiatives like 78.4% energy usage, biomass. So, and also coupled with recycling renewable energy. So, congratulations, a strong demonstration of embedding sustainability into eco operations rather than treating it as a parallel function. Super. George Tours and Health Private Limited, a well-articulated dual horizon model, CSR plus CME, that balances immediate social impact with long-term capability building. The growth investment CSR from 7.5 million to 9 million is commendable, and CME 40%, am I correct, 40% increase up to 42.5 million. Show clear strategic commitment aligned with stakeholder trust, brand equity. So let me conclude the session. Thank you once again, CPM, for organizing this excellent event. Let us wish all the very best to all 5 companies and good luck.
Thank you very much. We invite our companies to take their seats. Once again, these are the top 5 winning companies in the Cluster Awards. Let's hear a huge round of applause for each of them, ladies and gentlemen. They've made it so far out of 170 plus submissions. So congratulations on being in the top 5. And we wish you all the best for tomorrow as we reveal the results. With that being said, it's time now for us to present tokens of appreciation to our wonderful session facilitator. I'd like to now invite the following dignitaries on stage. Chief guest, Mr. Sam Hanna, Professor Lakshman R. Vatavala, Mr. Hen Nayaka Bandara, Mr. Kosala Disanayaka, Dr. Samantha Ratnayaka, and Mr. Dilshan R. Sukalaratna. We'd like to invite you now to please join us in presenting this token to our session facilitator, who is a board director at Pan Asia Banking Corporation PLC, Mrs. Darshani Pereira. Let's invite Pramodya Senanaika to please join us in presenting this token as well. So we say a big thank you to Mrs. Darshini Pereira, Board Director, Pan Asia Banking Corporation PLC, for being our session facilitator. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear your applause as we thank her for her contribution. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen on stage. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our 13th edition of the CPM Management Insights Summit. And I do hope you all agree it's been an insightful and an engaging day. We've gained some powerful perspectives. We've engaged in meaningful dialogue. And hopefully we take back home plenty of new ideas to help us rethink, to reform and realign. But remember that the conversation does not stop here. As leaders and as professionals, change makers, trailblazers, I'm sure you will all take back these insights with you. You will put it into action in your own workplaces and contribute towards building a brighter future, not just for our organizations, but also for our nation. So with that being said, thank you once again for your presence, ladies and gentlemen, and I wish you a great week ahead. Thank you and have a nice day.